Nous sommes rassemblés ce matin
We have
dans
gathered
cette cour de la
this morning
préfecture de police,
in this courtyard of the
les plus hautes
police
autorités de
prefecture.
l'État,
The highest
ville de
authorities
Paris,
of the state and
les
of Paris
représentants de
are
la
here,
police,
representatives of
pour
the
rendre
police,
hommage
to pay
à
tribute
Xavier Jugelé,
to Xavier Jugelé
pour partager la peine
and to
de
share
ses parents,
the
de sa
grief
famille,
of his parents,
de son conjoint,
his family,
Étienne Cardiles,
his partner, Etienne
tous ses collègues,
Cardiles, all of his
et en nous
colleagues,
adressant au-delà même de ces
and
lieux
beyond
à tous les
this
Français,
place, to
qu'ils expriment
make known
leur
our
soutien
feelings to
à
all of
l'ensemble
the
des femmes
French
et des
people,
hommes qui assurent
make known
quotidiennement leur sécurité.
our feelings to all of those,
Jeudi dernier,
towards those who
un
take care
policier
of
est
our
mort,
safety and security.
assassiné par un
Last
terroriste.
Friday, a
De
policeman
nouveau,
was died,
la France a
murdered by
perdu
a terrorist. France
l'un
has
de
once
ses
again
fils parmi les plus
lost one of
De
its
nouveau,
most courageous sons.
La République a perdu
The
l'un de ses
Republic has
gardiens
once again
parmi les
lost
plus valeureux.
one of its protectors, one of its
Ce
fighters.
policier,
This
ce
man,
fonctionnaire,
policeman,
c'était le capitaine
police officer,
Xavier Jugelé.
was Xavier
Il
Jugelé,
servait
a police
au sein
captain
de la 32e
who
compagnie
served
d'intervention
within
de la
the
direction de l'ordre
32nd
public et de la
Intervention Company
circulation
of the
de la préfecture de
DOPC
police.
of the Paris
Il avait
Police.
37
He
ans.
was aged 37.
Il est mort sur les
He
Champs-Élysées.
died
quand
on the
son destin a
Champs-Élysées
croisé
when
celui
his
d'un
destiny
fanatique haineux
crossed
qui
that
voulait tuer
of
des
a
policiers
fanatic who
perpétrer
wanted to
un
kill
carnage.
policemen and
parce
commit
qu'il a
an
été
act of carnage.
policier,
And it was
parce qu'il
because
était
he
policier,
was a policeman
qu'il a été frappé.
that
Et
he
c'est en
was
policier
struck,
qu'il
and
est
it
tombé.
was in his capacity as a
Les
police
risques du
officer
métier, entend-on
that he fell.
parfois.
This is
Certes,
part of the risk
nul ne les
that
ignore.
comes with the job, they say.
encore
We are
moins
all aware
celles et
of those
ceux qui
risks,
s'engagent
and in
au
particular,
sein des forces de
those
l'ordre,
who, within the
qui savent
forces
qu'ils
of public
s'exposent
order,
aux
are
plus
committed
grands dangers.
and who know the dangers to
chacune et
which
chacun
they
d'entre nous
are
ici
vulnerable. But every one of us here
constate également
also knows,
depuis
also
plusieurs
observes, for years
que
now,
des paliers sont un
that
à un franchis dans la
the
violence
red lines have
à
been
laquelle
crossed
les
one after
policiers et
another.
les
We have
gendarmes
risen from
sont
stage to
confrontés.
stage
Ils sont
in
devenus
qualifying
des
the
cibles
dangers that our police
agressés à
forces
cause de
are
l'uniforme
exposed
qu'ils
to.
portent
They are attacked
ou de
because of
l'insigne
the
qu'ils
uniform they
arborent,
wear or
attaqués
because of their
dans
insignia. They are
l'accomplissement de leur
attacked
mission,
in the accomplishment
avec, oui, le
of their
risque,
duties
le
with
risque
the
immense
immense
de perdre la
risk
vie
of
pour sauver
losing
celle des autres.
their life so as to protect the
rappelle
lives of
que l'année
others.
dernière, en
Let me
2016,
remind you that last year,
8
2016,
policiers
8
et 14
policemen
gendarmes
and
sont morts
14
dans
gendarmes
l'exercice de leur
died
fonction.
performing their duties.
Je n'oublie pas les blessés.
Nor have I
Et c'est la
forgotten the
raison pour laquelle
casualties,
j'associe
those who
à
were
cet hommage
wounded.
les
And
deux
I should
policiers
like
qui ont été touchés
also
jeudi
here
dernier.
to pay tribute to the two
Ils
policemen
sont
who
hors de
were
danger et
wounded
nous leur adressons
last week.
nos
They are
plus
now out
sincères
of danger,
souhaits de prompt et total
and
rétablissement.
we would like to convey to them our
L'année
best
dernière,
wishes for a speedy
Lors des
recovery.
obsèques du commissaire
Last year,
Jean-Baptiste Salvin
During
et
the
de
ceremony
Jessica
for Jean-Baptiste
Schneider, lâchement
Salvin
assassinés par un
and
terroriste
Jessica Schneider,
inféodé à Daesh,
who were victims
j'avais dit
to
qu'ils étaient
a cowardly assault
des héros
by a
du
member of
quotidien.
Daesh, I said that these people were
Le capitaine
everyday
Jugelé
heroes.
était
Captain
un de ces
Jugelé
héros-là,
was also one of
Comme ses
those
collègues
ordinary
qui
heroes,
étaient avec lui sur les
like his
Champs-Élysées
colleagues who were with him on the Champs-Élysées
et qui ont
that
fait face
Thursday,
à un
and
terroriste
who
prêt à tout
faced
pour commettre un
a
massacre.
terrorist who was
Par leur
ready to
sang-froid
do whatever his
et
act
leur
of carnage
réactivité
required
exemplaire,
in cold blood.
ces policiers ont
Their
avancé sous le feu
response
et
was
sont
admirable.
parvenus
They advanced under
à
fire
neutraliser ce
and
terroriste
they
sans
neutralized
dommage
the
pour la foule qui
terrorist
déambulait
without
paisiblement
harm or
sur la
injury
plus belle avenue du
to
monde.
the crowd
Qu'ils en soient
on the Champs-Élysées.
si chaleureusement
May they
remerciés.
be most warmly
Policiers,
thanked here
Gendarmes,
publicly.
vous êtes
The
les
members of the
remparts de la
police,
démocratie.
the gendarmes,
Dans votre
you are
métier,
the
il n'y a pas de
war
petites
protecting
interventions
democracy. There
ou
is
de
no
tâches
such thing
secondaires.
as a minor or
Toutes sont
secondary
importantes.
intervention or
À
duty.
la place qui est la vôtre,
All are
vous jouez un
important.
rôle
You
indispensable
play an
pour
indispensable
préserver la paix civile
role
et
in
l'ordre républicain,
preserving
sans lesquels
Republican
notre
order
société
and
ne
civil
peut pas
peace,
tenir debout,
without which
sans
our
lesquels nos
society
institutions
cannot
ne peuvent
continue,
pas
without which our institutions cannot function properly, without which our fellow citizens cannot feel trust and confidence in their future. And that is what makes acts of violence against you so invidious. And that is the reason why they must be punished with the utmost severity. Attacking a policeman or a gendarme is to attack the authority of the state. It is a circumstance which compounds the crime, and our justice system must take that into consideration by pronouncing the most severe sentences. To your colleagues of the 32nd Company, and to all of those whose privilege it was to be with Xavier Jugelé, to work with him as his colleagues, or to meet him, and to all of his colleagues in the prefecture, may I, on behalf of the nation, say how we share your immense sadness and grief, but also your anger. Your grief is that of the Republic, and it is my wish, as we speak, that we should all be able to understand the meaning of Xavier Jugelé's commitment, the ideal which he fell for last Thursday, struck down by hatred, which always goes hand in hand with cowardice. Xavier Jugelé died defending values, the laws of the Republic, and it is those laws that served as a guide to him throughout his life. He died in order to protect freedom. That was why he first became a policeman between 2006 and 2010 as a volunteer assistant gendarme in Saint-Jean-d'Angély, and he was distinguished there on several occasions, and in particular in the surveillance and intervention group. His former colleagues, with whom he continued to, as a friend, remember someone who was always available, always ready to serve, always in good humor, and who was appreciated unanimously. They also remember his intervention on the night of the 18th July 2008. He was on a traffic control operation, and with 3 of his colleagues, he managed to arrest, after a chase of several kilometers, 2 perpetrators of a theft. He was aware that he did this simply because it was his duty. He was congratulated on that occasion by his superior. He was someone who was courageous. He was not afraid of danger. After the gendarmerie, he joined the National Police, and for 6 years, he was a police officer within the DOPC at the prefecture. His guiding principle was that our citizens be able to live in safety, which he felt to be the first of our freedoms, the freedom that upholds the choice to live the way you want to move around, to go out, in other words, to carry on with your life as you wish. Xavier Jugelé's wish was that equality be upheld. He was most attentive to the situation of the most vulnerable. He was someone committed. He was always available. These are the words you hear when you ask his former colleagues about who he was. He himself was deeply convinced of the social role played by the police within the most vulnerable sectors of our population. Last January, he helped evacuate a building in Boulogne-Billancourt after an explosion had severely damaged 2 floors. His professional attitude and his efficiency were highly praised. He received 2 letters of congratulation. I know that he was very proud of those letters, and in fact he exhibited them at his apartment, together with the rose that he was given by a grateful citizen. Within the National Police Forces, he was a member of FLAG, which is the Police LGBT Association. Our police forces are as diverse as is our society as a whole, that it is entrusted with the protection of. On November 13th, 2015, when horror had struck Paris and Saint-Denis, Xavier Jugelé was present. He was present at the Bataclan. He had been called to help with security at the Bataclan and to help the victims. He was deeply moved by this experience, and it was for that reason that on November 12th last, he felt it important to be at Sting's concert when the Bataclan was reopened. And he then expressed his presence for the following reasons. He said, "We are here as witnesses to defend civic rights. This concert celebrates life. It says no to terrorism." In 2015 and 2016, he went to Greece twice on missions for Frontex to contribute to the safety of the refugees fleeing war in Iraq and Syria. He wanted to work even more committedly in international cooperation, and he was to join the criminal police headquarters at the head of its international division. He wanted to strengthen his own skills, and he hoped to organize a farewell ceremony, a farewell party with his colleagues. He was looking forward to his new job. The terrorists did not leave him time to do that. National police was his job and his life, but he had a life outside the police. He was inquisitive. He was fond of people. He loved art, music, cinema. He felt that he was a citizen of the world. He wanted to know that world better, and he should have been elsewhere this week, because he had been preparing for a voyage, not this one. That was Xavier Jugelé. He was a committed policeman, aware of his mission. He was an official who was proud to serve the state. He was a committed citizen, part of many causes, and his tragic disappearance comes to us as a reminder of what we owe our security forces. Let me say, let me convey this simple message to the French in this at this terrible time. Support your policemen, support the gendarmes. They are entitled to our esteem, to our solidarity, our admiration, facing danger. To their elected representatives here, whose job it will be to make decisions in the future, make sure that the resources are there to recruit whatever personnel must be taken on to protect our citizens and to provide them with the resources that they will need to be even more efficient. That is what I have been doing for the past 5 years with my successive governments. 9,000 jobs have been created. A plan to modernize the police and the gendarmerie is now being implemented. We need to be perseverant. We need to be consistent in achieving those efforts. We must avoid one-upmanship. For many years now, the police forces, the national forces of order, have been more than ever before on the forefront. We have military personnel patrolling the streets of Paris to anticipate terrorist attacks, which was the case just a few days ago. Together with our intelligence services, they are working, preventing departures to Syria. It is a long and enduring combat, which France is conducting both within its borders and outside against Islamic terrorism. A combat which is to last and which will be conducted until the threat has been finally eradicated. It will take a long time. It will be difficult. But I'm sure that it will be victorious. It demands unity. It demands a sense of responsibility. Our police forces have already paid an enormous tribute to the protection of our country. So many shattered destinies. Franck Basilero, Ahmed Berhabé, Clarissa Jean-Philippe, Thierry Ardouin, Jean-Baptiste Salvin, Jessica Schneider, Emmanuel Goutte, Xavier Jugelé. Those are the names. These are people who lost their lives, but in losing their lives, they became part of our lives and our collective memory forever. And for now, they are examples. They will help us through troubled times. They will give us courage when facing the challenges ahead of us, and they will convince us never to abandon, and above all, never to abandon our values. France is a great and fine cause. It is worth commitment. It is worth, it demands our commitment, and it even justifies our dying for it. The Republic is a project which we must continue accomplishing until complete. It is the promise to every citizen that he may live free in safety within our borders. And that was very much the sense of Xavier Jugelé's life. And that is his legacy to us and to all of the forces of the police and gendarmerie in France. It is the message that he leaves to all of the French. Today, the nation, the whole nation, expresses its profound gratitude to Captain Xavier Jugelé. He was an upright, an honest man. He was a man of heart and honor. He became a policeman out of conviction, and as a citizen, he wanted to be free to be able to express those convictions. May he be aware that his sacrifice has brought the entire nation together. It has strengthened democracy. Let it be known that after him, others will rise to continue his task on behalf of freedom and human dignity. May it be known that we today are here. His family, his partner, his colleagues are proud of him. May he rest in peace. We shall never forget him. Long live the Republic. Long life to France.